What's up, guys? My name's Dean. I'm about to go to the footy tonight, so I got my jumper on. But let's get into the teams and the preview for this week. Round 20. Remember to leave a big thumbs up if you enjoyed today's video. Now, let's get stuck in. Richmond and Collingwood tonight's where I'm going. Go the Tigers. I don't know if we're going to get over the line, but I'll discuss that in a moment. We got Griffiths and Moore coming in for Conqueror with a hamstring, and Lambert got dropped. Only 2 changes after last week's performance. Really? Really, Dimmer? Really? And for the Pies, Cox comes in with Blair and Darcy Moore after probably the best 34 minutes of his career, and then he did a hamstring. So unfortunately he goes out as well as Dugowie going out for this one. MCG, Friday night blockbuster, really big game. I think Collingwood are going to win, but I'd like to see Richmond do something and maybe get over the line. I don't know. Collingwood's one of those teams that we've struggled a lot against in the past, and then the last probably 2 years we've beaten them, but not convincingly. Last year there was a 5-point game in round 2, and then there was we won by 90 points or whatever in round 20 or something. It was dead rubber pretty much. And then this year, the 1-point game against Collingwood, so pretty much only a goal difference to round 2 last year. And this game, it might be the complete opposite. Collingwood might get the blowout win. But I'm hoping Richmond can do something. Griffiths coming back in's alright. Andy Moore did okay in the VFL. He's playing for his life here. And Mason Cox comes in for Darcy Moore. So Cloak will play that upper ground role a bit more. And Cox will sort of be sitting in the goal square, which will be interesting. He'll probably stretch Richmond's defence a little bit. I don't know who he'd play on. I think maybe Cloak would play on Rance and you'd have someone else go to Cox. But Richmond to win for me. Got to tip Richmond. Can't tip against them. Anyway, next game, we got Swans and Port Adelaide. This is the SCG. Sydney, no changes. The first time for about 2 or 3 weeks. There's been no changes for a Saturday team. And then you've got Port Adelaide. They've got Dixon in for Toompas. So Toompas only played the 1 game this season, I believe, for Port Adelaide. It was last week. He's immediately out of the side for Charlie Dixon, who comes back in. Ted Richards announced his retirement this week. He's listed as an emergency, so he's not actually playing. He's going to retire at the end of the season. So Sydney going to play through the finals. Whether he plays any part in that, I'm not too sure yet. But I'm sure he'll get a farewell game at some stage throughout the season. So congratulations, great career to him. Teddy Richards. Sydney going to win this one, and they are trying to push to the top 2, but it's going to be a real big race for the top 2 because they need, they're about 2% behind GWS, but we're going to talk about that later. Melbourne and Hawthorn. Oliver Wiedemann Bug in for Wagner, Jones and Dawes. Hawthorn have Rioli coming in for Hardwick. So the Hawks, you'd have to say they're going to win regardless of what happens, because they win this week. They soak up first place. I'm pretty sure they've already got it anyway. I don't think they'll lose another game for the year until finals. Whether or not they win the final again, you never know. I think on the footy show last night, I didn't watch it, but I heard Del Sano said that Hawthorn weren't going to lose another game for the year, and they'd play North Melbourne in like 2 weeks. So a bit of a spud saying that. I don't know why you'd say that, but you're like, we'll beat them. You've got to have faith. Now next game, GWS are taking on the Gold Coast Suns. This is up at Metricon, so Gold Coast home game. Lemons and Hallahan in for Malcheski and Lonergan, both with a couple of injuries there. And for the Giants, Dylan Shield is out with a groin injury, and Adam Kennedy's been omitted, bringing Haynes and Whitfield into the side. Whitfield hasn't played too many games this year, so it's good to see him back into that side. Obviously coming in with sort of Shield going out with a groin injury. Now, we take a look at the Giants, and they need more percentage as well. So they're currently in second with the best percentage in the comp. They got a 2% lead over Sydney. I don't even know if it's going to matter whether they finish second or third, because they'll probably play at ANZ Stadium regardless. And they just, if you keep the percentage up, you're going to keep that spot. But the reason you want to keep it up is because in a couple of games' time, we're going to look at the Geelong and Essendon, so that's another key one here. Now, next game is Adelaide taking on the Brisbane Lions. Again, another percentage-boosting game, potentially, for these two sides. The Crows trying to push into the top 4. They're 0.13 outside of that top 4 behind Geelong. So, they're playing against the Brisbane Lions here. Walker comes back in, O'Brien in, and Alice Yeoman comes in. I don't think he's played a game this year. He might have played 1 or 2, Alice Yeoman, but he was very good regular last season, just hasn't had a run this year. And you've got Sam Jacobs out with the ankle. Mitch McGovern and Scott Thompson have been rested. So the Adelaide Crows, they want a huge win this week big percentage to jump them into 4th spot, which is going to be interesting to see if they can get a bigger percentage boost than Geelong, who are playing Essendon later on in the round. Next game we're going to look at is the Western Bulldogs and North Melbourne. This is a key top 8 match. This will probably determine who gets a home final. Who gets 6th spot, I think. This is what this match will determine. If you lose this match, you're not playing at home in the finals week 1. Dale Morris, Matty Boyd, and Rovat and Webb come in for the Dogs. Stevens, Adcock, McRae, and Liberatore out for the Dogs. Gee, that's a big few outs there in McRae and Libba. And even Kobe Stevens and Adcock. I don't know why he dropped Adcock in that back line, but I guess you got Morris and Boyd coming. But anyway, North Melbourne, Majak Daw comes in for Jared Waite with the hip injury. I don't know why they played Jared Waite last week. I thought maybe that, you know, they could have given him an extra week off. He's done the hip surgery this week. That's 3 to 4 weeks. Whether he's back in time for finals, they're not sure yet. If he's not there in the finals, they are in trouble, North Melbourne. Majak Daw comes in for him, but his defensive work is nowhere near as good as Jared Waite's, and especially his, you know, marking ability and ability to win the contest, I think, is probably not even anywhere near Jared Waite either. Obviously, he's much younger talent and things like that, but Jared Waite needs to be there in the finals if they're going to do something. Sunday now, Carlton take on St Kilda. Where are they playing, Dean? At the MCG, where Carlton have actually failed to score pretty heavily this season, but they're playing the MCG. Carlton against the Saints. Dale Thomas in, Andrew Walker in, retired this week, final game this weekend, and Wiley into that squad of 25. Then you got Fisher coming in, Shenton and Holmes also coming in for the Saints. No changes to be made for either team yet, but obviously Walker would come in, and so would Dale Thomas for that Carlton side. I think Carlton, this is a real, I don't know, because Carlton are like up and coming. St Kilda are, you know, they could play finals next year with Carlisle back. Boy, I think Carlton will win. They'll do it for Andy Walker. They will win. All right, go the Blues. Go the Blues. They're going to win tonight. I mean, not tonight. Sunday. Next game we got is the Derby, the Western Derby. We got Fremantle at their home ground against West Coast. So West Coast are travelling to an away venue. They're not very good there at Patterson Stadium or Domain or whatever it is. No, I'm kidding. It's at home, but it's an away game. So does that mean it's on the road for them? I don't think so. I think they'll win this one. But we got Ballantyne, Sandilands, Apeness, and Hughes come in. The big men come back in. Sandilands comes back in. Zach Dawson got suspended. He's out this week. And then for the Eagles, Nat Nui's back in for them. You've also got Barasio, Redden, Alice, Jetta, and Nelson in that squad of 25. But I think Yo will also play. Was a late out last week with some illness. Then you've got Eric McKenzie dropped. Sam Butler out with a groin. Carpeney out, omitted. And Duggan out with a calf injury for the Eagles. A lot of changes there for them. At least 4, I would think. I'd think 4. Yeah, 4 changes. Seems about right. They'll get the win in this one over the Dockers. But it's going to be the battle of the big men. Sandilands v Nat Nui. Both coming back for their first game in a while. And it will be interesting to see how both of them go. But I'm picking the West Coast to win that one because it's at their home ground, even though it's an away game. Final game of the round, Geelong take on the Bombers. Henderson comes in, as well as Caddy, Kirsten and Lang. And Scott Selwood plays his first game for Geelong in round 20 this year, after coming across as a free agent last year. Linga McCarthy out with the adductor, and Jake Kolajasny has been arrested. So I don't actually know if Selwood's in that team or if he's just in the squad. No, he's in the team. He's on the half-forward line, so he's actually going to play the game. And for the Bombers, they've got Merritt coming in, as well as Brown, Redmond and Grimley, and James Kelly again to play against the Cats, his former side. Azario Fantasia with a well-deserved rest this week, as well as Sam Michael being dropped from the team for the Bombers. But that's it this week. Obviously, Geelong going to win this one. Big matches this week are going to be Adelaide and Brisbane and Geelong and Essendon. They're mini battles. It's a mini Adelaide v Geelong match because it separates 4th and 5th, and there's currently 0.13 in it, which is about 3 points. So it's going to be huge. Who can get the biggest percentage boost? I think it might be the Crows against the Lions. So they're both playing bottom 2 sides, obviously. It's It's going to be a slugfest. Who can score the most? Because this week could determine, you know, if you get a big enough win this week, could keep you 2 or 3 percentage points ahead of the other side, and keep you in that top 4 rather than in 5th and you play an elimination final. So there's a huge difference between 4th and 5th, but there's only a minuscule percentage gap, and that's going to be a key factor for this weekend. So I can't wait to see that. I thank you guys for watching today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a big thumbs up. Let me know who's going to win in the comments below, and I will see you guys later.